guys, welcome back once again. Today I have something a little bit special, more for me than maybe you guys, but I did manage to get my hands on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Alyssa Edwards palette. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did play with this yesterday. I had tried to film this yesterday, but it just, the whole vibe was off. I was not doing well as a person. So I decided to redo it today. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys and pretend this is my first review. This is not. I did play with it yesterday. I did learn a couple things about the palette as I went through yesterday. Now, one of them was there is several pressed pigments in this. I do believe it is. Let me just look at the palette. I believe Texas Made, Dream It, BBDC, and Believe are all pressed pigments. Now, this can mean that they can be harder to work with. They do need a little bit of tender love and care as you're going with it. So just keep that in mind if you are quite new to the makeup game and you're not quite sure why those pigments or shadows aren't working for you. Just keep it in mind that they could be pressed pigments and that it is just a little bit harder to work with. You do get a more intense color and that burst of absolute brilliance, but it does come at a price. This is the first kind of really bright and fun and colorful, in my opinion, palette that Anastasia has come out with. Oh, there it is. So you will see that there is swatchies all over it because I did use it yesterday. Now, this bad boy retails for 83 Australian dollars on the Sephora website. When they launched this, they did also launch a eye primer at the same time. I, however, did not get my hands on the eye primer. I could not afford it at the time because this is an expensive little palette. So today I will be using just the Colourpop No Filter Concealer as I usually do. If not, I will just be using the Jeffree Star Drug Lord, as it is also a really nice white base to make everything just pop. Now, each one of these pigments is 0.8 of a gram. You get 14 shades in this, which it is quite pricey when you think about breaking that into prices per eyeshadow. I mean, it's probably cheaper than the individual kind of pricing on the Anastasia website, but I do not think you can get some of these as single shadows. When you compare it to, as this is quite a pricey eyeshadow palette, the only one that's come similar to this in price is, of course, one of my faves, the Jeffree Star collection. Now, compared to the Jeffree Star one, these all have 1.5 grams in each pan, and you get 18 shades per this. So there is 4 less shades in this and less eyeshadow for the same price. Now, some things that I did note when using this palette yesterday, I'm just gonna roll them off now just so you guys understand. I do find that trying to combine the yellow and the blue together to make a green can be quite difficult. It might be because the blue is a pressed pigment, maybe that's why, I'm not too sure, but I found if I lay the yellow first and put the blue over the top, it gets kind of muddy, whereas if you put the yellow over the blue, you kind of get that green look to it. It did come across on camera, but in person I found the actual green to be a little bit muddy and a little bit weird. So obviously the undertones or something are a little bit different there, so they don't work perfectly together. But enough being said, that's my little public service announcement. This puppy is exciting because I have never used an Anastasia product other than my dip brow before. Now, so far, I'm going to treat this like it is a review first impressions, and I'm not going to give you my kind of review of this until the very end, even though I know if I like it or not. Of course, if you are new here, I like to do things a little bit differently. I like to do 3 looks with each palette, and then any product that I do not use, I will of course swatch for you at the end. This is just because I feel personally that swatches don't do eyeshadows justice. They're meant to be placed on your eye on top of like a primer and everything like that. So I feel like the most beneficial way for you guys to see it is actually in a look. But if for some reason I can't manage to use one of these colors in all of the 3 looks, I will of course swatch it for you guys just on my arm at the end so you can see the pigmentation of the color. Spiel over. But you guys can... Oh, okay, I've got lots of mirrors going on here. I'm gonna get crack-a-lackin' on with this. I forgot to put my light on in the back. I'm an idiot. I feel like you guys can really see that patch just there. I'm not sure what that is. I did not have this problem yesterday with that pigment at all, so I'm guessing it could just be because I left my base sit for a while. I'm not sure. Okay, so it is creasing a bit, and I'm pretty sure this did not happen to me yesterday, so I'm pretty sure it is because I didn't reblend my eye primer before I started applying it. I feel like this is looking patchier and patchier the longer I go, so I'm gonna wipe it off and start again. But I also want to give this product a fair review, and it's not going to look very nice if it's the fault of my primer. I might just go one eye at a time as well, because I feel like maybe the other eye would sit for a little bit and not do what I need it to. And it'll do the exact same thing again. Okay, go in with Unicorn Tribe once again. I do feel like that instantly looks better, so I'm hoping that that was the problem. Okay, so I've just taken it off once more. I've tried a different base. If this doesn't work, I'm actually gonna lose my mind because it worked perfectly for me yesterday. I don't know why it's doing this to me today. So far this is much better. So I'm guessing it was just the base. I mean, pray for my other eye that it works. I will admit this does seem to be applying much better. So maybe you do just need that tackier of a primer. But I mean, I feel at the same time you probably shouldn't have to have such a variation of like end product depending on the primer. Because I've had no problems with any of the other palettes that I use with the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. So I'm a little bit shook as to why it's actually happening. That worked like an absolute dream. So I'm gonna quickly do the other eye off camera and I'll come right back to you guys. Okay, so we got through that first eyeshadow look and I don't know why it was causing me so much grief. Now that I have got the correct base on, it is beautiful. The colors are that little bit more intense as well and are beautiful. But up until that moment, it was a nightmare. But if you get a nice sticky base, this works superbly. So if you guys are having trouble with it yourself, maybe just try something a little bit more tacky instead of the Colourpop, which of course does dry down because it's a concealer and you don't want your concealer to stay tacky. I do really like this look. It is giving me vibes of the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar one that I did. This color on the outside here, Supreme, beautiful. I think it's Supreme. Now that I've said it with such confidence, I'm not sure. The Supreme, I should say. It's giving me vibes of that Tongue Pop one in Jeffree Star. If you know, you know. It's beautiful. Also, don't mind my hands. Yeah, this is my brush all the excess color off hand, as well as test things on the back of this hand. Okay, with that being done, I'm going to take some pictures of this and then we'll go back to do the next look. Also, my lash glue is not dry. We know this by now. I never let it dry. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, eyes are primed, ready to rock and or roll, and I'm just going to get cracking on into it. I think I might want to go yellow. I might reuse that pink because it is beautiful. Maybe I'll go like yellow, pink, purple, blue and try and avoid that yellow blue situation. Okay, we might just play, see what happens. Okay, and then I'm just going to quickly do the other eye off camera and I'll be back. Okay, so there we have it, number 2 done. This definitely did blend a lot easier. I did try and keep the yellow and the blue separate just because I was afraid of getting that kind of murky colour that I have seen. I did see on another YouTuber that if you do not follow, you definitely should. Paige, I'm gonna butcher your last name. I'm gonna say Owning, but I'm 90% sure that that's wrong. So Paige, if you do happen to ever see this, please let me know how to pronounce your name down below because I butcher everything. But I will leave her video on this down below. I did watch this before I purchased it as well, so I did have a little smidge of an idea of what might have happened. If you did have a green colour that you could put in between the two of them, it would be perfectly fine. It's just trying to combine the two colours to make a green that I think did struggle. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay, I'm going to take this off, do the final look, and then I'll give you guys a little bit of a review. Okay, I might be about to do something crazy because I don't really want to use a white base for this look that I'm about to do because it's going to be more of like a neutral, little bit smoky kind of eye. I'm gonna try the Colourpop one more time. Am I asking for disaster? Maybe. Or maybe it's gonna work. You just don't know. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I just wanted to kind of showcase, even though this palette is full of bright, beautiful, bold colours. You can still create just a nice kind of dramatic smoky eye, word I use a lot, with it. Just something a little bit not as outrageous as the rest of the colours in this. So I will just put that on the other eye, I will zoom these out, and I'll give you the final little review. Okay, so there we have it. This is the final look. Out of the three, which one was your favourite? I am torn, to be completely honest. I do like this kind of just natural, kind of going out glam that I've got going on, but the colours in that second one just remind me of tropical things, and I think I'm probably leaning towards that one. But let me know down below which one was your favourite, because it is tough to choose, okay? They're very different looks. And as well, this was the Colourpop concealer as the base, and I didn't really have any problems with that at all, so I'm not sure what was going on with that first one. That just purple did not seem to want to stick to it, which was bizarre because I didn't have any problem with it yesterday. So look, we got through it, we moved on. I just applied a tackier base and it was sweet. So if you are like me and you were struggling with that, maybe try a tackier base. If you don't have one, I know it's a pain to go get one, but it'll save you wasting your money on not being able to use it. Now, thoughts on this. I have to say, the pigmentation in it was pretty spectacular. Sorry, mind my dirty fingerprints all over the mirror. Like, if you are into bright, beautiful, bold things, then this palette is pretty good for you. I mean, the pigmentation and the actual color in this, if you are a big fan of Anastasia palettes, of course, this would be a major draw card to you. Do I think this could be duped with other products? Of course, pretty much everything can be. Is there an exact palette like this? I don't think so. So it is a hard, tough line to cross. If you do have the cash to spend it, of course, I'd recommend it. If you don't, of course you can find other dupes for it. However, those four colours, the yellow, pink, blue and purple, are superb. They are so lovely, but I do feel like they could nearly be duped in the James Charles palette. I know, is that a touchy subject still? You gotta admit, the colours in that palette are pretty damn decent. Am I happy with this purchase that I made? Yes, of course. Spending $80 on anything is a little bit like, I don't like spending much money on anything anyway, but do I feel like it's worth it? Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna tell you to go out, you have to buy it, because you don't have to do nothing. But this is a pretty nice palette. Would it be nicer if it was cheaper though? Hell yeah. Now, I did miss out on one colour in this palette, and that is of course DDG. Now I'm gonna swatch that on my arm for you guys to see, just so you guys can get a full grasp of all the colours that were there. Now I feel like the camera is washing that out a little bit, but it is a really nice, beautiful, shimmery purple shade. So is this palette a recommend? It is a recommend. It's not a 10 out of 10 recommend. It's just for the actual price. It's not, of course it is a higher end beauty brand, so you do expect there to be a price attached to it, but $80 for the amount of product that you get, I mean, it feels tough to spend it on it. Was the product superb though? Yes. But you do not expect anything less from Anastasia, as, I mean, other than the subculture fiasco that happened a little while ago now. So if you do have the cash and are looking for a palette, and this ticks all those boxes, I do recommend it if you're willing to spend that cash. If you're not, however, I feel like you could probably dupe it with other products. Dupe? Dupe. I don't know the difference. But alas, thank you for coming on this little journey with me. I did really enjoy playing with this palette. It is such a nice, bright, fun, beautiful palette. Speaking of bright and fun though, I'll give you a little sneaky peeky of the next review that will be coming for you guys. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell wherever it may be hiding, so you do not miss out when I upload next, which hopefully will be in the next couple of days. We do at the moment do not have internet, so I'm trying to backlog as many of these as I possibly can. So when I do get internet, I can just have content streaming at you guys, not 24/7, but at least once or twice a week. But thank you once again, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!